All right, gang, we're sitting here. We're at Secure Miami. We're going to do a THPC quick hit. I've got Nick James from WhiteGloveAI. First off, wait a minute. We're in Miami. What do we do? We're usually in DFW. What are we doing here, man?
Oh, man. Well, I think we were joking that somebody put a cloth over my mouth. I found myself in a cargo bay of a plane.
Yeah.
No, the DigitalEra Group, they are expanding in the market, in the total market. And we found ourselves just getting, they're very friendly. They're very hospitable and very open to partnering. So I'm here to continue to deepen my relationship with the DigitalEra Group team.
Love it. And so it's their conference along with Florida International University. We're on the campus here at Florida International University. Beautiful campus, by the way.
Beautiful.
Love their signage. They've got this big building over here, that big FIU. It's pretty cool. We're going to do some shots of that later. But so besides just showing up and being supportive, are you meeting folks? Are you like, what's the vibe here at the conference for you?
Yeah, there's some key clients here, the DigitalEra Group clients, and they've been asking DigitalEra Group about AI and security and how do you adopt it correctly. And DigitalEra Group did the right thing. They came to us and are like, hey Nick, sounds like you know what you're talking about. Sounds like your team knows what they're doing. So why don't we get you out here, get some FaceTime,
Love it.
meet some new potential, prospects.
Absolutely.
And let's partner together and deliver AI for them, securely, responsibly, and safely.
So I'm gonna ask you one of the hard questions. So you're in the AI space,
Yes.
but I hear my contemporaries, the CISOs, get tired head around talking about AI already.
Yeah.
So how do you battle that? Like as it being your primary thing, like how are you kind of getting yourself in a place where you get past the tired head with these folks that you're targeting to help bring those services to market?
What a perfect question. I want you to know this wasn't
You're over
planned, by
there.
the way.
You're
Okay,
over
I'm over
there.
there. Yeah.
Yeah.
I want you to know this wasn't planned.
No, what plan?
It's a lot of the times when the emerging technology comes out, people have a hard time figuring out what role they play in the adoption of it. So when people are confused and don't know where they fit in, they feel like an outsider.
Right.
They feel like an outcast. And so they have a tendency to be negative towards the technology. So what we've done is realize that was a sort of a phenomenon, right? That was taking place, especially with something like AI. And so we created something called the AI Adoption and Management Framework.
Wow.
Okay. And not only is it proprietary, but we've also chosen to open source it on an MIT license.
Wow.
And so I think it's called the Attribution Share Alike license,
Right.
but yeah, you're welcome to remix it and make it yours. But we've released it at AIAMF.ai or .org, whichever you prefer.
Right.
And this really serves as a placemat for executives to just put in front of them and say, hey, I know where me and my org fit into this whole mix, okay? I know what the path forward looks like because WhiteGloveAI came in and we collaborated on designing a living, breathing strategy on AI adoption. We know what the end game is. We already know what our ROI is because we work backwards from the implementation. And we know all the steps that we need to take to do this responsibly, safely, and securely. So everybody knows where they fit in this AI AMF.
Love it. Love it. Okay, so I'm gonna curveball you again.
Yeah, go ahead.
You've been picking up some pretty strong names in the space.
Yeah.
So can you kind of give me a recap of your recent people acquisitions or people onboarding that you've been doing? Because it's you're making some waves out there.
I'll take it all back to God. I don't make this religious, but God just put me in the right place, right time.
Right.
It's what's the equation for luck? It's like preparedness meets opportunity.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So, I mean, I think I am coming off, and this was not planned by me, by the way. So don't think I had some like master strategy. It just so happened to be at the sort of the heels of these big, massive tech layoffs where people who are highly talented were laid off for no absolute reason that has anything to do with their performance.
Right.
In fact, they may be high performers, but there is no rhyme, reason, or equation that could have led to laying off that person. And so all of these force reductions, when I got laid off from AWS, that's what they called it, right, is causing for a lot of premium talent to be out on the market. And a lot of them are sitting on nice packages that they were given to say, hey, thank you for your time, but we got to part ways, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's all that play. And most recently we brought in a guy, and he wasn't a part of a layoff or anything, but Dr. Donnie went. He was with MasterCard for about 20 years.
Wow.
And so we recently put together our flagship service offering called the or you want to say Fractional Chief AI Officer. I don't know if you see how fast the federal government's moving on this, but I mean, every department needs to have a chief AI officer, and there's just a huge talent gap.
Right.
People don't know how to hire for it. So we designed a service to bridge that talent gap, to bring someone in fractionally and prepare you to hire that long-term person. So Dr. Donnie Went was just such a perfect profile to fill that. So he's actually our first fractional chief AI officer.
Love it. Love it. And it's interesting how you're responding to how the government as well as other entities are getting out there kind of on the edge, right? You're seeing this idea that there's a need to get out there in front of it. And I'm seeing you shape that almost in real time.
Yeah. It honestly, I mean, my team gets frustrated with me sometimes, but they're like, Nick, the company does not look like what it looked like yesterday. It does not look like the same today. I'm like, yeah, it's because we have to be responsive, you know?
Right.
We got to be responsive to the market. We got to be responsive to our customers' needs. So, you know,
do you ever get concerned about your messaging in that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Because it's always transforming. But you know what? I'll be honest with you. I think we're getting to a good place where we found a long-term message that we can ride, and we found our purpose and our fit in this world.
Love it.
We've been searching for that.
Well, anybody that's been in the entrepreneur space knows that you're iterating, especially in the first,
product market
6,
fit,
10, 12 months.
Yeah.
So finally, what's coming up? I mean, it's not like you haven't had a lot, but is there anything that we might be able to expect from WhiteGloveAI?
Yeah. I mean, you know, I think launching the AI AMF recently was probably the biggest thing that's happened since I started the company, frankly, because this is a framework we've released that's technology agnostic. It's not Google that's peddling it. AWS is not peddling it. Microsoft's not peddling it. It's a neutral entity that created a framework for the people. So I think that watching that sprout and blossom into what I believe it will become, and for it to be remixed and tailor fit, and we're not asking for any money.
Right.
It's open source, right? So you can make it yours if you'd like. But right now we're in a pre-release mode. We've done the sort of like the abstract executive overview on the site AIAMF.ai. And so what we're doing right now is sort of a closed and guided request for comments. So I think that I'll probably plug that. If you are an industry expert, you know what you're talking about when it comes to AI. In any sort of facet of AI, please do reach out to us. You know, you can reach out. I'm big on LinkedIn, as you know. Reach out to me on LinkedIn if you'd like to contribute. We're having that request for comments right now.
Or you can reach out to the show. We'll get you
reach out to sorry about that.
Yeah,
reach out to the show.
Good.
Yeah.
I mean, any which way.
David and I are very close. So in any case, reach out. We would love to get your thoughts and have you listed as a contributor to the framework in the release of the first version.
As they say, it does take a village, especially when you're trying to wrestle this monster, you know. Because it can be a good monster, I think.
Yeah, it can. Yeah. I always explain it like people have different analogies. AI is like a set of kitchen knives. You can use it for good or you can use it for bad.
Absolutely.
You can use it to cook your family a beautiful dinner,
absolutely,
right? Or you can use it to kill somebody, take someone's life.
Yes.
So AI is the most powerful tool. In fact, it is the first industrial revolution that has challenged the human intellect.
Yeah.
Think about it that way.
Well, it's like Elon said, right? By 2029, I think they said smarter than all people.
All people.
Put together.
Easy.
Yeah.
Easy. Yeah.
Well, there you have it. We're here at Secure Miami with DigitalEra Group and Florida International University. Appreciate Nick James from WhiteGloveAI coming on, giving us a quick hit. Truly great spending time with you, brother.
Yes, sir.
And hey, see you on the next quick hit.